Hey everyone, and welcome back to our journey through history. Today we're diving into a fascinating era of massive change, a time when old empires crumbled and new, powerful forces reshaped the globe. Think of it as the world hitting a major reset button. So the Western Roman Empire has fallen, leaving a huge power vacuum in Europe. But over in the East, the Byzantine Empire is not just surviving, it's thriving. At the heart of this golden age is Emperor Justinian I, who reigned from 527 to 565 CE. This guy was a real visionary. He didn't just want to hold the line, he dreamed of restoring the glory of the entire Roman Empire. While he didn't fully succeed in reconquering the West, his impact was colossal. Under Justinian's rule, Constantinople became the most magnificent city in the world, and the crown jewel of his building projects? The Hagia Sophia. Can you even imagine it? A dome so massive it seemed to float in the air, a building of such breathtaking beauty and architectural genius that it would remain the largest cathedral in the world for nearly 1,000 years. It was a statement to the world. The light of civilization burned brightly in Byzantium. But Justinian's legacy wasn't just set in stone and mortar. He understood that a great empire needed great laws. He commissioned a massive undertaking to collect, edit, and organize centuries of Roman law into a single coherent body of work known as the Corpus Juris Civilis, or the body of civil law. This codification was so brilliant and comprehensive that it became the foundation for the legal systems of most of modern Europe. So the next time you hear about civil law, you can thank Justinian for getting that ball rolling. While the Byzantines were preserving Roman heritage, a new dynamic civilization was exploding out of the Arabian Peninsula. The rise of Islam in the 7th century led to the rapid creation of a vast empire, stretching from Spain to the borders of India. This wasn't just a military conquest, it was the dawn of the Islamic Golden Age. Cities like Baghdad, Cairo, and Cordoba became bustling centers of learning and innovation that far outshone anything in Western Europe at the time. While Europe was in its dark ages, scholars in the Islamic world were making incredible advancements. They preserved and translated the ancient Greek texts of Aristotle, Plato, and Euclid, saving them from being lost forever. But they didn't just save old knowledge, they built upon it. In mathematics, they developed algebra. The word itself comes from the Arabic al-jabr. They pioneered trigonometry and adopted the numeral system from India, including the concept of zero, which they then passed on to Europe. Without this, modern math and science would be unthinkable. In medicine, scholars like Ibn Sina, known as Avicenna in the West, wrote medical encyclopedias that were the standard textbooks in Europe for centuries. They built hospitals, studied anatomy, and understood concepts like quarantine. They were pioneers in astronomy, chemistry, and optics. This period was a brilliant beacon of intellectual curiosity and progress. Then, just as these powers seemed settled, a new force erupts from the steppes of Central Asia, one that would change the world more dramatically than any before it: the Mongols. In the 13th century, under the leadership of the legendary Genghis Khan and his successors, the Mongols built the largest contiguous land empire in human history. Their conquests were often brutal, but what came after was something totally unexpected. By connecting China to the Middle East and Europe under a single rule, the Mongols created what historians call the Pax Mongolica, or the Mongol Peace. For the first time, trade and ideas could flow securely across the entire Asian continent. The Silk Road, that ancient network of trade routes, was revitalized and safer than ever before. This was the first time the globe was truly interconnected. Marco Polo could travel from Venice to China and back. Gunpowder, the compass, and printing technology, all developed in China, made their way westward, where they would eventually transform European society. But the exchange went both ways. Persian art influenced Chinese pottery, and goods and ideas flowed in all directions. The Mongol Empire, for all its ferocity, acted as a massive global bridge, accelerating the pace of change and setting the stage for the modern world. So, from the glittering domes of Justinian's Constantinople, to the brilliant libraries of Baghdad, to the vast interconnected empire of the Khans, this era was anything but a dark age. It was a dynamic period of reorganization, innovation, and connection that laid the groundwork for everything that came after. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this journey through time as fascinating as I did, please hit that like button, subscribe for more history adventures, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next episode. See you next time.